to understand which are the most pressing challenges around math and writing and reading, it is worth looking at why reading, writing, and math are special. They are in some ways more special than physics or history or art, in a way that they're cultural techniques. We use them every day, and by that, the brain automates at least sub-functions of reading, writing, and math. And with that automation comes what you generally call the fluency of reading, the fluency of doing math. Now, for the brain to realize that it's worth automating these cultural techniques, these reading, writing, and math skills or sub-skills, there are a couple of consequences for learning, so that the brain really realizes that. Whenever you practice these skills, you should practice them regularly. Otherwise, the brain will not realize that it's worth automating. It's a lazy brain. It only automates what's really important. You have to practice consistently because the brain has to realize that it's actually the same and that it's worth doing. And finally, you have to address those brain areas which automate, because otherwise you will also not trigger fluency or get to fluency. And in particular, with children that have learning difficulties, be it learning difficulties in reading, writing, or be it in math, regular and consistent alone is not enough. You have to understand which brain areas should automate. Now, let me quickly make a couple of examples what automated skills mean, or how you can experience this automation yourself. This is quite a classical and well-known example of a text which you as experienced readers can understand. But if you look at the child, or if you keep a child, imagine a child that's at the beginning of the reading learning process, this child will go in and say, oh, that doesn't make any sense, the whole word, and it doesn't make any sense, the whole text doesn't make any sense, and it will stop reading. But as readers, you read in word shapes, and you can read these texts, although it's entirely jumbled up. Well, not quite entirely, the word shapes are conserved in this jumbling. Also in math, there are many automated skills. If I ask you which side has more circles, your brain can somehow determine that on the right-hand side there is more, there's 47. But if I ask you, how does your brain solve this task? You probably don't know. It's automated. If I ask you what 7 plus 5, right, 7 plus 5 is 12, but I guess nobody in this webinar calculates 7 plus 5. You just know by heart, you catch from memory that it's 7. You just intuitively know, that it's 12. You just intuitively know. If I ask you what's 11 times 10, I assume that as soon as I say 11, most of you will immediately see the 1. So we will go immediately from a spoken representation of a number to a visual representation of a number. And to do times 10, I assume most of you will just kind of depict the 11 and graphically add the 0 to it. And that's probably, like you as experienced math doers, have automated this task of multiplying with 10. So always, or has to be, that for all learners, this automation of basic skills and sub-functionalities is triggered and allows them to reach fluency. And in particular, also children with learning difficulties should be offered means of getting to this fluency level.